walk outside your door, your expectation of privacy goes.
Apple has offered to pay $95 million to settle a lawsuit in which the company was accused of eavesdropping on iPhones and other devices. The allegation is that
the amount of the lawsuit settlement is really irrelevant. It's the underlying theory there, which is a lack of privacy or an invasion of privacy using their iPhone technology. What's happening now is that we have an erosion of the expectation of privacy. Under the law, conceptually speaking, we have an expectation of privacy in our houses. You can have privacy in other locations, such as your doctor's office or in an attorney's office like this. However, generally speaking, when you leave your home, you do not have an expectation of privacy. You walk outside your door, your expectation of privacy goes. And what's happening now is that we have these little computers sitting in our homes, in our pockets, that can listen at any time.
for 10 years, Apple secretly activated the Siri on mobile devices to record people's conversations. As many of you will know, Siri is the virtual assistant on Apple devices that should only be activated with the trigger words, "Hey Siri."
Now, they're activating this to listen at random times is beyond me. I pretty much understand, knowing corporate culture, is that they were trying to get information for ads. I mean, that's what ultimately happens in this case. They want to listen to your conversation to get ads. Anybody who's ever been on Instagram after you have a conversation and see all the ads for whatever you were talking about knows exactly what I'm talking about here. But the real big issue is what's happening with our expectation of privacy. So let's take an example. Let's say that you have a friend, and you and a friend are over at your house. You have an iPhone sitting there, and you're talking about robbing your neighbor. Then, all of a sudden, the police come to your door, and they ask to search your premises because they have a warrant for a probable cause, saying that we can come and search your place because we have reason to believe that a crime is actually being committed. The problem with this is that inside of the home, you have an expectation of privacy. You don't just willy-nilly give it away just because you have an iPhone. When we see those gangster movies, like with the mob bosses sitting there and the FBI agents that are sitting there and they're recording and writing down notes, that only happens when there's probable cause. When a judge sits there and listens to some evidence and says, hey, you guys have probable cause to get a warrant for listening in on private conversations in a home. In this case, all we have is access to Apple or even other devices. That's it. There's no waiving of rights anywhere. There's no reason for anybody to listen to your conversation except when they want to sell you something.